and welcome back to the second part of the course, in which we'll be making the Blade of the Ancients from scratch using Blender. In the last video, we installed Blender and we also got to know its interface, how to move around the viewport, and we also added a monkey to our scene. From all these years of working in Blender, I actually think I've forgotten that monkey is called Suzanne. It's a she. It's Suzanne. I had no idea and had been calling her a monkey. That's pretty rude of me. But, unfortunately, in order to progress with our sword, we need to say goodbye to Suzanne. So, click on the Suzanne, press X. Bye. In this episode, I will show you how to add a reference image, which we will use as a background image to trace the shape of our blade and start modeling it. All good artists, 2D and 3D, use reference images because sometimes it's hard to make the proportions look right or make something the same color, the same shape it should be. That's why artists use reference images. Because making something out of your head, you already know how it looks, it's a bit hard. So, especially in industry, where you need the object to look exactly as someone imagined it, you use a reference image. And you have your reference image in the description of this video. You'll want to download it, and once you have, you want to go back to Blender, press Shift-A, and instead of adding a mesh, you want to go down here to the Image tab and add a reference. Find the Blade of the Ancients reference and load the image. You want to go around it to make sure it is facing the right way. So when you press 1, it should be facing you and it should be straight. But if for some reason your image looks like this, which is not good obviously, you want to click this arrow here or press N, and here you have the location, rotation, and scale of the object. Location being the place where the object is located in the viewport, rotation being it rotated, and you have scale, which is the size of it. So, you want to reset the rotation. You can do that by clicking and holding the mouse button on X and just dragging it down. Now you're simultaneously editing the rotation tab. And you want to type in 0 and enter to reset it. But, as you can see, when we press 1, we don't see it. It's because we want it to be rotated by 90 degrees on the X rotation. So you can go to here X, press 90 and enter to rotate it. Or if you want a shortcut, well, in the viewport you can press R, you can press X, then type in 90 and enter. And now your object should be as it needs to be. Then we are going to add a plane. So Shift-A, go to the Mesh tab, and instead of adding Suzanne or cube, we are going to add a plane. And the plane is also at 0 X rotation, so you want to press R, X, 90, enter. R, I said it's a pirate. Well, too bad it's not a pirate sword we're making. R. Okay, and now you want to see what you're doing. You want to see the sword and the mesh simultaneously. So let me press N to hide this bar so you can see it better. But up here you have this little icon that's called an X-ray. If you toggle that, you can see through our plane, you can see an image. But if you notice, while I toggle it on and off, you can see we don't see the yellow outline when we have X-ray on. So to know that your object is selected, you can ignore toggle the X-ray off, select the object to make sure, or you have this so-called scene collection. Here you can select objects and rename them, of course. If you want to rename an object, double click on it and call it however you want. I will call this a blade, so I know that it's not displaying. So you want to now select the blade, toggle X-ray mode, and then we will go to the edit mode. We can do that by going to this object mode tab, clicking it and selecting the edit mode, or if you want a shortcut, just click on the object and press tab. Here we will be modeling our edge part of the blade by manipulating vertices. These dots are vertices, and when connected, they make objects. In other words, they make a mesh. We can move them by clicking on them or box selecting them and pressing G, and then clicking to confirm their position. You want to make sure you're in front view, in other words 1 on your keyboard, so you don't move them in any other direction. Because if you're, for example, on the side here, you can move them from the front to the back, and you don't want this. You want to be on the front view. And we want to drag them like this. And to make our work a little bit easier, we want to position the vertices on these parts, like where there is this triangle on the blade. We want them to be there. And now, if we want to add more vertices between these 4 ones, we can do that by simply clicking Ctrl R. So holding Ctrl, clicking R gives us this yellow line, and that is option to add loop cuts. That's how we call vertices between vertices. And we can choose the amount we want to add by scrolling the mouse wheel up, which increases the amount, and down, which decreases. So let's add a few. You don't have to add exactly the same number as I do, but you want to have enough of them so you can make the shape we need. So you want to conform them to the blade. You can see it's already starting to look amazing. I know yours might be even better than mine. You can add more like this. Do not worry about the number you're adding, just add how many you think you need. Worry about the number later. And here, oh, I don't like this one. Maybe one here, just because. Yes, let's add one here. Okay, we got more than half of our blade done, and now we want to put some vertices down here also. In order to extend the edge, we can select and hold G. But we don't want to move these ones because we already placed them in the place they need to be. So by pressing E on the keyboard, I can extrude or make new vertices. Ctrl R to add more loop cuts. And you can also scale the loop cuts by pressing S and dragging the mouse left and right. Okay. You see, it's already starting to look like a blade. And of course, the more you practice, the less time it will take you to make that, to make anything. But it's part of the process. You need to enjoy the process, not just the final product. you know? That's how you actually start to love this job. When you see the blade or something, whatever you're doing, just come slowly together. And then for the bottom part here, you want to extrude this one, because this one will be the points, and you don't want to drag the one near it, you want to leave it a bit behind, because we don't care about that for now. And you can see the blade is coming together. Let's extrude here. And let's extrude once again here. And as you can see, we have this middle line going all the way in the blade. And we can add that by pressing Shift R and going with the mouse to the middle of it and clicking. There. You can go back to object mode, disable the X-ray mode, and now go around it. You have a blade! You have a blade, you made it! It's amazing, isn't it? Oh, yeah, I'm so happy I'm doing this story. It's just so beautiful. This reference, I mean, it's beautiful. And now, if you want to see how your blade looks like without this picture in the way, you can click on the picture reference, press H to hide it. That's a shortcut again. And if you want to unhide it, you can hold Alt and press H. Or if you want a quicker way, or you just hate shortcuts for some reason, here in Scene Collection you have this eyeball. By checking and unchecking it, you can hide or show the image, or even our blade. And you see, you made it! You made your blade! I hope you are happy because of it, because you should be proud. You made a blade! And thank you for watching! In the next video, we will continue making the blade, and also we will outline the handle. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be fun. So thank you so much. Consider subscribing and supporting, sharing, so I can make more courses for you. Thank you. Bye bye.